What's up, my soul tribe? I had to make this video because, or I get to make this video concerning your Merkaba. Right now is such a critical time that you work on your Merkaba. We're headed toward that 0 point, that influx point where Gaia is flipping. The polarity is flipping. As some people say, the poles are shifting or whatever, you know. But you gotta work on your Merkaba if you have any hope of making it to the other side. You know, you look at the name of things in this world, and you gotta understand, you gotta start to understand that the name of almost everything has a spiritual meaning behind it also, as above, so below, inside out, you know. This principle will help you understand what I'm saying right now about your Ka, because I'm not talking about your CAR. I'm talking about your KA, your Ka. See, the English language is tricky. It'll fool you. But see, you have a Ka. You have a Ka. A Merkaba. Merkaba. They say Mer, but even if it's Mer, it's for the sea. Mer means sea. But Merkaba, Merkaba just illustrates it comes from your mother, from the universal mother. But you have your Ka. Do you have the key to your Ka? Why don't you have the key to your Ka? And whose Ka have you been working on? Or whose ship have you been working on? Because if you're in any type of religion, you've definitely been doing some worship or workship, working on somebody's ship or something's ship, their Merkaba, their cosmic ship. But who's working on your ship? See, you have to stop giving your loyalty, your time, your energy to all these other things and start giving them to yourself. You are a toroidal field on your own. I mean, we live in a toroidal field, the heart chakra of the being that we live in. But this being that, this plane of this being that we live in, that we're standing on right now, in this plane of existence, for us souled ones, it's our sister. It's another form of us. We are all aspected from source, and we come out of the emanations from source, the two emanations of the divine masculine, divine feminine. One is the skew line called the masculine, and one is the straight line. And in the skewing of the geometric line, we have the male principle. And that male principle has to stand up and skew the physical line that is now trying to take hold. This line is not always visible. It's not always visible. Sometimes you're going to find yourself taking steps that you never knew was even in you to take. You're going to learn yourself. But allow you to become you. Allow you to learn yourself. Allow you to actually stand in the place. Like, for example, I'll give you one example. At this time, it's critical that you learn your shadow self. You become best friends with your shadow self. Like if you don't, then that shadow self comes back on the other side, and it's now in control. You saw them, yeah, well, not you saw, but you guys probably have seen the movie Get Out. Everything has an esoteric meaning to it. Get out, he's not just talking about get out of, you know, a relationship with white women, like they all try to act like, when in all honesty, the gods can incarnate in any form they want to, male, female, um, white, black, Chinese. That's the funniest thing about it. It's like people go around calling themselves gods, but they limit themselves to one particular type of incarnation. Interesting. But we all have our same, our different levels that we're on, that we're trying to accomplish something, or accomplish our soul contract. So we're all on a mission to accomplish something. But to those this resonates with, you're on this vibration, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, and this is more of a confirmation for you. But your energy has to be healed. And I'm not talking about your energy as in ENERGY. I'm talking about your energy, your inner God, your inner G. It's time for you to recognize your inner G and your inner God. You have a God inside of you and a goddess inside of you. These are both streams of divinity. People call them Kundalini. It's magnetism and electricity. These two things come together and you are grounded into the toroidal field of the earth and the toroidal field of the universal point of the galaxy. The universal center. My bad, not point, center. So it's like we're about to go on a bumpy ride. Every single dimension and plane that's in this universe is about to be jolted. Right now, you have to know who you are. You have to know where you're from. You have to know your star code, your star map. And when you know that, you can anchor yourself to your location. Not only do you do that, you also anchor in where you are from, your soul signature, your energy vibration. That signature, you are calling down to the location you live in. So you're anchoring in that frequency by simply knowing who you are. When you think upon these things, when you meditate upon these things, you are literally calling in that frequency to your pineal gland, to the seat of the soul. So your soul literally vibrates and has a signature that it is, or a signal, which is a signature that it is sending out to every single place up there in the heavens that is emanating down, that your soul is attached to. So if your soul attaches to Arcturus, it emanates from Arcturus and attaches right to your pineal gland, right to your crown chakra, to your pineal gland, that frequency. So you say you're Arcturian starseed, a Sirian starseed, a Andromedan starseed, it doesn't matter. You knowing where you are from allows you to now pull in that frequency and pull in that vibration by simply just thinking about it. Now imagine if you start to use your gifts and open up that crystal city that you have in there. Now you can start to really create some harmonic vibrations for our sister, our soul sister. Just like, I guess a lot of people are waking up. They're not conscious anymore. They're not conned in the chest. In other words, they're not in the heart chakra being conned anymore. They're not conscious, not conned in the chest. They are aware. They are awoke, awakening. And there's more people awakened to the reality that their soul is literally emanating from a spot up there in the sky. And it's beaming right down through the crown chakra, right into the pineal gland. So, you gotta know where you're from. That's how you, if you don't know already who your shadow self is, your shadow self, elf. You know, research elf ways if you don't know what elf ways are. You have a shadow elf, just like you have your everyday elf. You have a low frequency that you emit. And this frequency is emitted from your shadow self, from your energetic body, from your physical body, from your mental body. I mean, there's so many different planes, you know, on which we exist. But up the ladder, you got to climb. Jacob's ladder. And get there. But the time is running short for you to get this done. Like, this is time specific. This is not a joke. When August comes, there's going to be a huge change. You know, the Perseid showers are coming, so that's going to switch up everything. The influx point. But y'all keep working on that Merkaba, man. Get y'all energy straight. Get your mind and what you say you are focused on. Get it straight. Get rid of all of that old stuff that serves you no good. Get rid of it. The women, the money, the cars. Man, if y'all knew how much I have had to let go in the last 2 or 3 years, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. From money to cars to houses to people. Everything. Honestly, everything. Even your own self-identity, what you even say you claim yourself as, you have to let it go. Because that won't even work. Heck, you might come on the other side of this thing and you went in a ditch digger, you're going to come out on the other side like, man, I just want to study law. For some reason, I just want to study law. Next thing you know, you're in law school. Family looking at you like you're crazy. How we're supposed to eat? I don't know. So you have to deal with these issues now, these shadow things now. You have to get rid of them now. But I would say that would be the first step. You guys got to go meet your shadow self. Learn the nasty stuff you like, the vile things that you say you don't like and you say you don't want to do. You need to go meet that person in the mirror. Why do you say you don't like those things? Why do they make you so sick inside when you think about them? Is it because you identify yourself with them? Maybe you hate all of the people that actually do those things because you're actually jealous because they actually had the courage to do them. And you don't. Whatever your reasoning is, you have to find it. You have to find that shadow side, and you have to talk with it. And you have to let it know that you're in control. It becomes part of you. It merges with you. It becomes one with you. But you have to sit in that seat. And you have to know who you are. So when these different vibrations come to try to urge you, you know, like we're about to have a Mercury retrograde right now, you know, this Mercury retrograde that's coming up, you know, some people are going to be trying to start businesses. They're going to be trying to do all kind of things. And it's like, why would you try to start a business during retrograde? Most people would say, retrograde, what's that? I don't even know what that is. It's a time for everything. And the Bible tells you that. Almost every single religious book tells you that. I mean, I can go back further than the Bible, but I use that because I'm in America and a lot of people, you know, read the Bible. But tablets of Thoth, everything. I mean, there's so many texts you can go to and read, but the most important text that you could ever read is the text of your heart. Get into your heart chakra and read that text. Read your own Akashic records. Find out how many times you were born, reincarnated here. Find out why you're here now. Find out where your Chiron is at so you can learn how to heal yourself, so you can also see how you're supposed to be healing the world. That's simple. Get that Chiron. Find out where it's at. That is the key to your Ka. That is the key to your Ka. And some people will call it Chiron. Chiron. Because it's the key to your Ka, your Merkaba. Because once you do that, your frequency rises. Once your frequency rises, phew, man, that thing's ready to, George Jetson on up out of here. But you have to learn how to control this now. You have to basically, it's almost like you don't know how to drive a manual car, a 5-speed, but you know how to drive automatic. Well, anybody that knows anything about cars, they're laughing right there, because you could jump in an automatic and drive all day. You put it in D and, you driving on, you gone. But it's a little bit different when you got to pop that clutch. You'll sputter out and bust your forehead on the steering wheel. Shh, don't tell nobody. It was a small car, man. But, you really have to learn how to drive. And same way, you gotta learn how to drive your Merkaba. Same thing. Like I told you, there's a spiritual aspect to everything physical. So therefore, what I'm telling you is simply this: if you have to learn to drive a car, if you need an instructor to learn to drive a car, then you're gonna have to have an instructor to learn how to drive your Merkaba. The great thing about it is that inside of you, in that little black hole, that little black dot right inside your heart chakra, is connected to the universe, to the universal center. You have a direct connection if you can find it, because there's a path you got to take to get back there. This is why you got to know your star code. You got to know your star map. You got to know your codes. Because if you don't, then you'll be tricked. You'll take a wrong turn. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You take a wrong turn, you end up in another planned net. Another planned net. You know what a net is used for? NET. So if someone has a planned net, they're planning to capture you. So it's not a joke. FYI, you lived on a planned net. But it was planned by us, the souled beings. But this is a planned net. So just remember that you're on a search to find you. Let everybody and everything else go. Work on your Merkaba. Work on you. Be the best you can be, because that's what you're going to need to get through this 0 point, through this influx. The toroidal field, we're like an hourglass, and the sands are running through and they're trickling through that point where everything comes. It's like an upside down A, and there's a line there across it. And once you get past that line, that's it. You're in the free fall, so to speak. But you're basically just falling and being sucked into this black hole, this point, this 0 point. Where coming out on the other side, it's the inverse. Very critical time. Changing of the age. Officially. Through the vortex. 13th moon cycle. Everything's ending. It's trust me. This is really 2012. Let that sink in for a minute. I even help y'all on that. Go research mud flood. We've been reset several times. But those who control time already know what's going on. That's why you're preparing now. In 2012, they told everybody, hey, harvested all that energy and did all that stuff, and then, converting it into just something else horrible for everyone to digest. Converting all of that energy into just something else horrible for everybody else to digest, to really kick out even more energy, a vicious cycle over and over and over. But believe it or not, our job is not to end that cycle. Our job is to be the best us we can be, because when we are us, we're vibrating on the frequency that we're supposed to. That's what rises it up. That's what rises her up to the next level. You being you, going for your passions, pushing forward as hard as you can. Literally being the best divine masculine you can be. And some divine masculine are women. Some are men. That doesn't mean you're homosexual or anything like that. That's an agenda from, I'm not even going to touch that, but that's an agenda. That's a different agenda. There was a time when it didn't matter if you were straight or gay. I mean, people really kind of maybe thought you were, but they didn't ask no questions like that. Like, it's just kind of like, yeah, he's like that or whatever. That's the way I grew up. And I grew up in the South. Where your choir director people may look at your choir director like, man, I don't know, but I mean, like, that was it. But now it became a thing. Come out of the closet and tell everybody what you're doing, and it's like, whoa. But understanding all of that it's not sitting in a seat of judgment, because I have my own things to judge, which we're going to get into that too, divine sexuality, or I have my own things that I have already judged and I am working through, I should say. But we'll get into that too. Divine masculinity includes divine sexuality. There's some of us that have been hurt, that have been scarred, and now we don't understand that. We don't understand with that fact that was only to build us, to make us become who we're supposed to be, not destroy us and take us down, But anyway, we'll get into that. But thank you guys for your time. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And I also do readings. I do tarot readings. I do soul adjustments. Where some of us have been disconnected from our souls through trauma, and like a lot of people, they might say, man, when I was young, I did these certain things and I talked this certain way and I knew things, and now I don't know these things. I don't flow like that. You're probably disconnected from your soul. You'll still have the soul signature in your body. It'll still be beating like a heart, because it's almost like if you tear, I want to say almost like I'm seeing it spiritually like a rubber band, and you pull that rubber band and it's stretched all the way out, and as it's getting ready to snap, you can see the little strings that are attached. Some people might call them heartstrings type of thing, but little strings attached, and as they pull, one or two might be left on, but all the rest have already popped and they're curled back. Well, as long as it's still connected in some way, that middle part can be reconnected. It's psychic surgery almost. But what happens when it snaps? Well, it has to be brought back in, and it has to be mended back together so you can have a direct flow back with your soul. But that type of work is very important in this time. I also help with that. I also do counseling. I do sexual counseling, sexual healing, chakra healing. So I'll end this video with that. But you guys have a very blissful day. Live in bliss. Don't be blessed. Don't be blessed. Don't let your being be less. So don't let anyone be less you. Bliss. 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 Live in bliss. And you'll live in happiness. Trust me. Trust me. That's the guardian of this realm. And she guards it well if you know her. If you know her. 1,000 different names. But mama ain't happy. I can tell you that. She's to who? Mama's not happy. Mama or daughter. The raping has to stop now. And it will stop. But, alright. Thank you guys. Have a